It's a Dulce party. Who's here for this? Okay, so here we are. We are in sunny Seagrove Beach in this massive house. There are 35 girls here. I hope there's no one on this at all. I wonder if the internet is working.
I'll check on my phone.
Can you see me? Are you live?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
I'm not, so I'll check yours.
Hold on, we're telling people to join. I wonder if I should end and then begin again. I was so hype.
Hold on, no.
Can you see me? I don't see a single person. That's usually...
My Wi-Fi is bad.
Oh! Somebody's here.
Oh, I can totally see you. Looks great.
Okay, someone's here. I was feeling we've had internet issues all day, you guys. I'm so excited that you guys are here now. Okay, so tonight is a very big night. Hi, everybody. Please tell me where you're joining from because I'd love to know. I want to know if you're an artist with our company or if you're just, a friend or a fan or whatever. I would love, hi guys, hi Jess, hi Steve, how are you, babe? So tonight is a really big night. Tonight is photo shoot night. So all over this beautiful house, we have girls getting their mascara makeup on and, hi. And so it's my turn. So I thought I would gather some of my besties. There's some other girls in the bathroom here. And do my makeup for all of you guys in the way that I would when I was getting a photo shoot done. So the cool kind of thing about Mascara Beauty is I met Mascara while I was on a photo shoot shooting somebody, and up until that day I always felt like camera ready makeup and everyday makeup were like completely opposite things in the world. Like they were not one and the same. One looked like you had more pancake than IHOP, and then the other was like you look like a normal human, right? So whenever I met Mascara and I was photographing this chick and she's like, I don't need you to hire a professional makeup artist because I got this thing. And I was like, you do you, boo. And so at that point, I looked at her makeup and that's what sold me. I was like, this girl looks like she could go out to lunch with her girlfriends, but in the camera, this stuff is photographing like magical. I couldn't get over it. I was like, really nerding out about it. I'm sure she felt how awkward I was being because I was like chimping at the back of my camera like, ooh, 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 look at her makeup. It looks so good. Her skin is flawless and fresh and all the things. So here I am to teach you that even on a photo shoot day, when we hired a professional to come here, you can pull off every bit as good a makeup look as any professional out there. So I'm here to teach you all the things. Are you ready? Do you have your brushes in your hand? I hope so. Okay, we've got a couple girls here that have their brushes in their hands. So do you guys want to come say hi? Come say hi. Come say hi. We've got our crew here. Kristen's standing on the tub. This is Natalie. She's from Cali. And this is Kristen. She lives in Mississippi. We got her a hand. So, and there might be other girls kind of coming and going. Come here. She's so cute. Okay. All right. So the first thing I've done is I've prepped my skin with my milk cream. Okay, so if you guys don't know what the milk cream is, that is this magical sauce in a jar. It has a high lactic acid value, so it will gently exfoliate your skin and nourish it at the same time. It's like a 1-2 punch, okay? So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put on our, what we call the basic hack. And if you're not familiar with what a hack stands for, it means highlight and contour, okay? The makeup comes in a compact like this. You get fancy brushes that look like this and are double-ended. And look at all of this beautiful makeup, right? It all fits in one compact. It doesn't have to be complicated. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna apply our highlight, and I like to apply my brightening highlight shade first. And I'm gonna use this brush. Even though this should be like more full coverage because of a photo shoot day, I'm gonna teach you that even with a light coverage brush, you can still get like an airbrush finish. So this brush here is called the BBF brush, and the first color that I'm gonna use is this banana yellow color here called Sunlit. Now, what my colors may not be right for you, but we have an army of women in our artist program, and that is all we do all day long, is we color match people so that you will find out whatever your right shade is for you. So do you see how that just kind of buffed out all that little inconsistency and it just softened it all out? okay? So even though this color for me looked banana yellow, there's a science to this. So my job as a trained mascara artist is to look at your face, and I'll ask you to send me a color match, and you can do that really simply. You just visit colormatchbykatie.com. It's a funny little form you can fill out, and you'll just upload a picture of your face with no makeup on, and I will get back to you in 24 hours with your colors. Oh, it keeps freezing. Oh, that stinks. Maybe, yeah, I'm noticing that the follow count keeps going up and down and up and down, and I don't know if it's because people are getting frozen. So I'm sorry if that is happening. But this is the brightest highlight color called Sunlit, which is, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and then I just got a phone call anyway. I wonder why that happened. Weird. Okay, so now that I've got that on, you can see from that distance that I am a whole lot brighter up here than I am in the rest of my body, right? So what are we gonna do about that? Even though you might be thinking like, someone tell her that the colors don't look good, don't fear, it's gonna all work out. So the second color that I'm gonna use is this one. So I just use this yellow color here. The second one is Sandy. So if I happen to send you colors in your color match and you're like, is she crazy? This may not match me. Just stay tuned because it will all work out, okay? So this second color, Sandy, is gonna go everywhere else, basically, like in my beard area. And I'm just kind of buffing this on. And this is gonna even out like any uneven, look at that, just disappears. But it's not heavy, not cakey. This is almost a BB cream level finish. So the first color I kind of put in my ski mask area here, and my second color I put in my beard area. It's really technical term. And then I'm gonna put it up here in my forehead a little bit too. Okay, and now even still, I still look a little lighter than my body. Don't fear. The last thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick up this tin here, which is Bella Bronzer, and this is gonna go in some specific places. I'm gonna put my Bella Bronzer here on the top of my cheek. Notice I have not put my brush down. This is one brush. I'm also gonna put it above my eyebrow, and I'm just using like circle swirly motions, okay? But you can see how this is starting to come together with the shade that is my chest. And so, but it's very specific, and you just map out your face, and the more practice you have doing this, the easier it becomes. So I'm gonna do one half of my face so you can see the impact that Bella Bronzer has before we even contour. Okay, so look, that's pretty close, right? This one's still a little bit light, but that one's pretty close, okay? So then I'm gonna come over here, and I'm just gonna do the same thing, okay? So I don't wanna put this everywhere. I just wanna put it in some specific spots, basically where the sun would naturally hit you. Another tip is most of us have a bright neck, like it's like a collar, and we have a very tan chest and a very tan face, and then under here it's like white collar. So if that is an issue for you and you don't want your makeup looking a little separated, it's a good idea to just take your Bella Bronzer and wisp on a little, just buff it on. Okay, so I've done every bit of this whole base foundation with just this one brush, right? Okay. I'm putting this brush down now, and I'm gonna pick up my contouring brush. So this is the HAC, Highlight and Contour. So contour is this tin here. Notice I'm holding this almost like a book the whole time. I haven't needed to put it down. I'm like Bob Ross. I'm painting the pappy trees, okay? So I'm gonna take my contouring brush, and I'm dabbing it on the edge. That's really important. Like the way that you load the brush is important. So you can see it's like half on and half off. Okay, and then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna chisel out all the features that make your beautiful face yours and unique, okay? So I'm gonna take this brush, and I know exactly where my cheekbone is, and if you don't know where your cheekbone is on your face, just take your finger right to the top corner and just push, just right here. You'll feel it, it's like a little ledge. So then you're gonna take your brush, and this contour is gonna go in 4 places. And for me, it's really helpful if I just blot it on in a very skinny little line first, okay? So I'm gonna put it here, here. That's 1, 2. Third place, look at my cheekbones. Already without any blending, you can see where the chisel and the angles of my face are becoming more obvious. The third place we're gonna put it is right here, along the forehead, and then the final place is along the nose. So I'm gonna take it and just make a tiny little line here, and a tiny little line here. Okay. Then, once you kind of have it, if there's any product left on your brush, you can always just like dust it along the jawline just to kind of get rid of whatever is left over. And then once you have a fairly clean brush, you can just come back, and I like to just buff back and forth in like just a back and forth motion. What you don't want to do is you don't want to pull the contour down into this area here, or you'll lose that chiseled cheekbone. Do you see what I'm saying? So you go right back and forth, blend that out, back and forth up here. This is like makeup for dummies, okay? I'm gonna turn my brush around. I have this nice little fancy little skinny part. Not really fancy at all, it's pretty basic. It's pretty like, it's so simple and obvious. It's like, why didn't we have this sooner in our lives, right? Okay, so now my contour is all blended out, and you can see that I have some shape and dimension to my face, okay? I'm gonna take my little brush, and this is sort of a contouring 2.0 technique. Hey, Sarah. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna just stick it underneath the bottom ledge of my low lip. This is the same color. I just want my lip to appear just slightly fuller, slightly more full. And by doing that, I have a lip injection without the expense or the pain or the permanence. It's a win-win. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of teeny little bit of contour, mostly underneath my low lip. Okay, putting this brush down. Now, the rest is pretty simple. Now we just get to accessorize our face with some fun color, right? This is our main foundation and contour and our bronzer. Now we're just gonna add a little bit of blush. And for that, I'm gonna use a mixture of baby watermelon. We have so many beautiful colors, literally one for anything you would possibly like. We've got like, almost like berry stains, we've got nudes, we've got peaches, we've got like purplish tones, all kinds. So I'm just taking my brush and I'm pushing it exactly where my contour line was is where I begin. And then I just start to kind of buff a little bit. I'm not overly worried about like overly buffing my contour out, because as soon as I start adding my blush in, I'm touching a brush to my face, and that's basically blending the contour even more. Okay, so I'm gonna just stop there for a second. I'm gonna move on and do the rest of my face. And then if I feel like I want a more dewy finish, I might go back with this color next to it called Desert Sunset, and that'll just add a little bit of a sheer. It's more for texture than anything, just depends on how shiny, dewy you wanna be, okay? I'm your favorite person. Well, that's great. I'm here to make friends, so welcome to the party. I'm excited you're here. Okay. I'm gonna do my Illuminator. Most of the world calls Illuminator highlighter, but we call highlights your basic foundation, so we call this Illuminator. In my world, I like to call these the damn girl, because this is that one little detail about doing your makeup that when you're out and about and someone's like, damn girl, your makeup looks so good, you're so fresh. That is what I like to call Illuminator in my world. So don't forget to put your damn girl on. All right. So I like to put it kind of just where our bronzer was going, okay? All right, now we're gonna hook up our eyes really quickly. I'm gonna use a pencil really quickly on my eyebrows, but you can use our contours sometimes. I've done that. You can use eyeshadow with a brush, but right now I'm just sort of hooked on this pencil by Thrive Cosmetics. I'm just gonna grab a little hand mirror. And I'm going to just fill in my brows. So as far as technique with the brow goes, I usually like to just define that low this like low area. I'm gonna zoom in for you guys so you can see. Can you see? Eeh.
What's happening?
Oh, girls are going crazy. And I just knocked my phone off the mirror. Oh, here we go. Do you hear them carrying on? This is a party. 35 women in one house. All right, so what I like to do is I like to just define that low edge really quickly first. And then from there, I just will flick up, okay? So I'll just start filling in those like sort of sparse, naked places where it's not quite as full. But I think that if you just flick in the direction of the hair, it will end up being a lot more natural looking. Okay, and then this up here is your peak. So when you do, you should have a line here. You go across the iris of the eye right here, and that's your peak. And then from the nostril to the outside corner of the eye, and that's where your eyebrow should stop. So you can just measure yourself just like that, okay? And then you know that you're on the right track. Okay, and then if you feel like, holy good god dang, this is like way too much, you can always just use your spoolie and just brush through them a little bit and it'll soften it out, okay? So don't fear that you've gone too far. There's no such thing as going too far, right? Okay. The other awesome kind of concept thing with cream-based makeup is this makeup isn't really set on your face until you set it with the stay spray. So you can edit your look over and over and over without having to start all the way over. You can just wipe it off or use your brush and erase away any mistake that you've made. And until you set your makeup with your stay spray, you have full flexibility. Whereas with older traditional foundations, once that foundation, that liquid foundation is dry on your face, like you're stuck. If you make a mistake with your eyeshadow or your brows or whatever, you basically have to get out a makeup wipe and start all over again, and it's a real bummer. So that is the brow look. I'm just gonna comb through these brows one more time and get them nice and soft. Yes, I'm doing a live. I'm doing a live. Hi, my God! We're like, we're margin on our live. Oh my God. Hi. Oh my gosh.
Pausing for a break.
You guys made it! Woo! Oh my God, come say hi. Come say hi. Oh my gosh.
Hello.
Did you see me call her? I'm standing here. We're like 11 minutes away. We're coming.
You're like, tell me where you're coming from. I'm like, the Uber.
Oh my gosh.
We had a
Wait, we're
really
so crazy.
big plane delay. So
Yeah.
they're finally here. It took them 3 days to get here.
It took 3
3 days
They're
to get
from
here?
Pennsylvania.
So they're finally here.
Yes.
Okay.
So crazy.
Back to Katie's look.
Oh, you're so cute. Yeah, so those chicks, we started this party yesterday and these poor girls had like, it was like planes, trains, and automobiles for these poor girls getting here. They
Sally.
are from Pennsylvania, had to drive to Cleveland to fly to Texas, and then they got stuck in Texas overnight. They thought they were then gonna have to fly from Texas to Tallahassee and then catch a 2-hour Uber. Through like a wing and a prayer, they ended up getting here on time, and our pictures are supposed to start in 45 minutes. So I am so stoked that they made it. I can't even tell you. And if that's not proof enough of how awesome our company is, I don't know what is. Okay, where was I? We got to do an eye look, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were doing do it.
I'm like out of breath. I need to get my life together here. Okay, so the eye look that we're gonna do, I'm wearing just a basic black dress tonight for our pictures. So I'm gonna do a very, it's a neutral eye. So it's something that you could wear every day, but I'm gonna kind of glam it up a little bit just because of pictures, and I'll show you how I'm gonna do that. So eyeshadow everything brush in this color here called Bubba. I always start with my crease color, tap off the excess, and then come in. I do have my Sunlit base on my lid, and in my opinion, doing a little bit of the cream base on the top first before you put your eyeshadow on helps to keep your eyeshadow in place for a really long time. It's almost like when you are baking a cake and you put the butter in the bottom of the pan first and then you flour the pan, right? And it just sticks right to it. The same is true with this situation. So we've got the cream highlight on first. So I'm just gonna take this, and wherever you put your brush down first is where all the product is gonna land. So I'm just making like little swirlies right on my brow bone. I can feel for my brow bone, and I'm just laying all the color right on like the outer 2/3 of my crease. Once I have that there, then I will kind of start to sweep it a little more into the inner corner, okay? Just like that. See how much, when you work the product around, I didn't have to double dip again and go back and add more product. I was just pushing it around, and using a really light hand with your brush is the key to it looking really flawless, okay? So, same thing over here. Lay the product down in the outer corner of the crease, little circles, and then kind of drag it toward the middle. Okay. There we go. All right, so that's our first crease color. The second crease color I'm gonna use, I don't have bird, I wish I did, but I'm gonna mix a little bit of basic with a touch of Philly to kind of get to a bird, which is a little more depth. And I'm just gonna do almost the same thing, but a little bit smaller. I'm not gonna sweep quite as big. This is more like a crease accent. Just deepening that crease area just a touch. Okay, there it is. All right, now moving on to the lid. I love this color. This is called Soulmate. It's this one here. It's really, really shiny, really sparkly shiny. Okay, I'm flipping the brush around. This is more of a concentrated side of the brush, of the eyeshadow everything brush. And I'm going to start by just patting quite a bit of this to the inner, I don't know, 2/3 of the lid. So start it at the innermost corner and then just pulling it outward. Okay? Same thing over here. Jane, you wanna say hi? This is my top ambassador, one of my top ambassadors on my team. This is Jamie Peters. Say hi, Jamie.
Hi.
Bye.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
That's all you got? All right.
Hey, I gotta get ready.
Okay. So this is Soulmate. All right. And once you have Soulmate, like kind of, you really got to work it in and press it in, but you see how shimmery it is and how bright it is in comparison to what we have on our crease. All right, same end of the brush. I'm going right back to Philly right here. It's like a deep chestnut brown, and I'm grabbing some of it on the tiny end of the eyeshadow everything brush, and now I'm gonna do my little accent. And using this end of the brush is just gonna put down a lot more color and make it a lot more concentrated. So I'm just adding it to that outer corner and kind of pulling it into the Soulmate. Do you see that? Hello. So now when I open my eye, I've got like a medium brown up here and a deep brown. Hello, Jessica Wilson in the house. How's it going? It's a party. Nicole Lodi's here too. Say hi to everybody. How you doing?
Setup with the
I know. I like rifled through the house and I'm here for it. Figured it out. It's okay. We're here for this, right?
We are. This is the party's here.
The party is here. All right, so I'm just replicating that same Philly over here. You know, I have to say something about makeup and why makeup might seem superficial or not important, but it actually really is. When I think back to all of the times that I spent getting ready with my girlfriends, either for prom or a bachelorette party or a wedding day, like I'll never forget you photographing Kristen on her wedding day when all of the girls are there getting ready. Like there's nothing more special, and I feel like one of the reasons that my team is called the Bond Girls is because makeup is just something that we've bonded over for such a long time. And in that way, we're creating connections and we're creating relationships with each other through this thing that we all kind of really like and want to be good at. So I think that makeup is actually pretty darn important. So I'm excited to be part of a company that just celebrates women on all of those levels. Okay, so that's basically the neutral eye look. Now, the way that I'm gonna kind of glam it up for a photo shoot level is by adding a black liner and some lashes, okay? So the first thing that we're gonna do, we do have a black eyeliner called Black Friday, but in this case, I'm gonna use a pen. This is Blickety Black by Hank and Henry. I really do love this, this company and this liner. So I'm just gonna start at the inner corner and start pulling. I'm just doing it as close to my lash line as possible. Just like that. You can make it slightly thicker on the outer edge if you like. But I'm just gonna keep it nice and tidy, as close to my lash line as possible. And you can see that there is a slight difference to the polish of one side or the other. Now, the lashes that I've chosen for tonight are pretty big. So, and I just made a goof, and that's okay. Hey, James, can I have a cotton swab? Okay, Q-tip. This is a good troubleshooting moment. I'll show you. So see, I blinked, and as I blinked, I'm just gonna take a little cotton swab and kind of erase that away. And then I'm gonna take my brush that had the Soulmate on it and add the Soulmate right back to it, and we're in business, no problem. Nothing ever happened. I didn't see a thing, did you? I didn't see anything. Okay, so I'm just gonna come back and add my liner. And there we are. Quick little coat of mascara. Really, the only reason to add mascara at this point is so that your natural lashes are not lighter than the black lashes, the artificial lashes that you're adding. So you don't have to do 25 coats of mascara if you plan on wearing lashes. So what I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna start with my bottom lashes first so that I don't get mascara transferring up here into my eye makeup. And I just like to use kind of like a zigzag method to do that, okay? And then I can look down and put just a quick little coat of mascara here. And then by doing the bottom lashes first, I know that seems so simple and silly, you're not in jeopardy of then looking down and all your mascara going on your eyeshadow. So do your bottom lashes first. Okay, so now we're gonna apply these artificial lashes, and I'm gonna show you a few tips for doing that are gonna just make them a lot more comfortable to wear. The first thing is trimming them into thirds. So these lashes were just bought at CVS. These are the Ardell Faux Mink 3D. They were the ones that looked the most like little frilly hairs. Some of them are a little wiry for me and they just don't seem natural. So I have just a cute little pair of cuticle scissors here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut this. The other reason that I really like this lash is because it has an invisible weft. Like a clear weft makes it not look like you've got this giant strip on your eyeball. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it and I'm gonna cut these into thirds. So there's a third and here's a third, okay? And from here, the reason I like to cut them into thirds is because as you're blinking, your eye is going in and out. Like when you squeeze your hand together, it's not just open, close, it's squeezing in a lot of different ways. So I have found that it is a whole lot more, sorry, this is coming off the mirror. I've got to suction it back up. Hold please. I have found that when you cut them, as you're blinking, it's just a whole lot more comfortable over time if you're gonna wear them for several hours than if you don't. The glue that I'm using is a duo glue. I don't know, I guess that's the company name. And it is like a clear glue and it has a little plastic wand on the end. And the whole key with doing lashes, I'm gonna start with the innermost corner first, is you just hold them in your hand and you run your finger or this little applicator brush It almost looks like a clear blue at the start. You just kind of rub it back and forth on that clear weft, just like that. And then you're gonna let it dry for 10 seconds or so and get it tacky. That's really important. You don't wanna just lay it down or it'll slip all around. You wanna blow on it for just a few seconds and then you wanna place it. So I'm just gonna do one eye and then spray my face with Stay Spray so I can let you guys go. And then I'll take a couple pictures of my final look. I need to actually put something on my lip too. But whenever I do this, I hold a mirror in my hand and I look down and then I just lay it on top of my natural lash until it fits nice and snug, okay? And I like to just kind of push down. It is far easier to apply these lashes in thirds than to try to kick down both corners. I just find you'll have less lift over time as well. Most lashes, when they're applied, the big long ones, they have a tendency to lift on the corners. Either the inner corner or the outer corner will start to lift after an hour or two. And it's just because you're blinking a ton and it's all one piece and it's getting pulled in all these different directions. And so by doing this, by splitting it into thirds, it really does help keep them on longer and the wear is just far more comfortable. So highly recommend doing it. You're not ruining the lashes. I'll be able to use this pair of lashes 3 or 4 times before I want to pitch them. Okay, so this is piece number 2. This is the middle piece. So just give it a little shake, blow on it a little bit, and the same method of applying it. Just turn this around so I'm holding it in the right way so that I can sit it down nice and snug right on that eyeliner area. And I usually just sit it down and kind of push it in place. All right, I'm happy with that. You guys, lashes make all the difference. Already you can see such a difference. All right, final piece, and then I'll do my lip. I'm just gonna do a quick liner, a tube of lipstick that I love, not Mascara Beauty, but just love it. And then some gloss, and then I'm gonna set my makeup. I'm so glad you guys hung out for a little while. It was fun. Again, if you guys are curious about what your colors would be, you can request a color match at colormatchbykatie.com. And I'll take a quick look at your face and recommend a bunch of pretty colors for you. There we go. So this eye, perfectly acceptable for any daytime look, but this eye, I think it's photo shoot ready. So I think that for me, it probably would have been a mistake to wear a lot of really dark eyeshadows with a lash that's this big, because you can see how much it is shielding you from being able to see the eyeshadow, because it's just a very, very, very big lash. So I think wearing a lighter shade with a big lash like this is a good move. Okay, so the lip liner that I'm gonna use, this is one of my favorites. This is NYX. It's called Cold Brew. It's just sort of a neutral brown. And I'm just gonna draw that right along the edge of my lip. All right, and then the lipstick that I'm using is Fascinator by Tom Ford, number 510. Such a pretty color. And I'm gonna pull that in here. I love the Tom Ford lipsticks. They're just so creamy and they wear for a really long time. And I just want to make sure that the inner part of the lip matches, you know, even if I have to just run my finger along where the liner was, so it's not such a harsh transition. I want to muddy the waters there a little bit. And then I think I might just use some clear gloss by Glossier. And call it a day. I'll jump off and do my other lash. Don't forget to do your stay setting spray. That's super important. So just hold your face back hold your arm out nice and long. You want to saturate your face. It's really important that you really put a lot down, because setting the makeup, that's what makes Creme so different than other traditional foundations. Now this is not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It takes a few minutes for it to dry completely. If you struggle with your skin looking too dewy or too oily or too shiny, then I would recommend just taking I love our Power Powder Bundle. Our Power Powder Bundle on our website includes the Vanilla Dust setting powder and this brush here, which is magic. You just take your brush and you rub it. I don't know if I even have my Vanilla Dust because I didn't even think I would need it. And you just basically rub the powder Vanilla Dust. It's a translucent setting powder, and I will just spot treat areas of my face that I don't want to look shiny. So typically that would be like under my eye here, my T-zone, along my jawline. Oh yes, this is Vanilla Dust here. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Vanna. This is Vanilla Dust here. So just make sure that your stay spray is completely dry before you apply the Vanilla Dust. And I'm almost to that dry place, but I know that for a lot of ladies, once their stay spray is completely dry, they do have such a dewy finish. And if that's not a finish that you love, then using the Vanilla Dust to kind of cancel out some of that dewiness just in those areas while keeping some other areas nice and fresh will give you that like youthful glow that you're looking for without you looking like a grease bucket. So that's my tip on that. Okay guys, I am set. I have to go get dressed. And thank you guys so much for hanging out. It's such a pleasure always to be here with you. I'm so glad that you got to meet some of my teamies and some of the rad girls that are here. We are having a blast here at Dulce. And if you're interested in joining us maybe for our next big trip or joining our company, you can definitely reach out to me or any of the artists that you talked to today, and we would love to help you guys out. So, all right, you guys, I'm gonna go put my other lash on and get myself ready. It's been so cool hanging out. I'll see you soon. Bye.